You wanted to, what's the thing on splitting the bill on dates? What were your thoughts on that?
Oh, we were also talking about that. We think that that's like wrong. Like, I wouldn't split the bill.
The man should pay.
I think the man should
The
pay.
man should pay. Hold on. Wait, but.
On the first date.
On the first date, for sure.
Like, going forward.
Like, yeah.
I would offer, but on the first date.
Yeah, I'd offer.
If you asked me to split it, I'm going to be like.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
talking about this with my boyfriend's sister, and I was like, how do you feel about this? And she had a really good point. She was like, I feel like whoever initiates is the one that needs to pay. So whether that's the girl or the boy. And I was like, oh, that's actually really fair, because you're like, hey, I want to get to know you. I want to take you out.
My treat.
But how often does the woman actually initiate the date? Because it's mostly the man who initiates asking someone out. And women expect the man to initiate 9 times out of 10.
I think girls initiate a lot more these days than normal, but yeah.
Maybe by a small degree, but you would probably prefer a man be the one to say, hey, I really like you. I'd like to take you out. You would prefer that. So the whole point is that, like, the splitting the bill thing, like, you're expecting a man to pay, but he's the one who's always asking you out. So it's always going to be him.
Point. Yeah.
Even if I were to ask a guy out on a date, if it went really well, I would expect him to end up paying for it.
Yeah,
even if it went really well.
She said even if she asked to go on a date.
Oh, even if she asked.
Oh, if you asked, you would expect him. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if it went well, I would expect him.
What if a date goes badly? Do you still expect him to pay?
Yeah.
Yes?
I think the initiator. I still like that. I stand by that.
I think that's
Let me ask you guys a question. So the man, okay, so the man should pay on the first date, right? Women should. I'm trying to think what would be the corresponding thing here. If men should do, it's always interesting. Like, there's never any pushback if a woman says men should do X traditional gender role, but if a man says women should do, like, for example, women should. This isn't my view, but I'm going to give you this as an example. Women should. Oh my God, I'm going to get clipped. I don't know if I should say it.
Say it.
Okay. It's gonna get.
Do it before you think too much.
We all
Cancel
know
him,
where it's coming from.
Are you saying, like, be properly single, or?
No, like, I mean, I could. The more extreme one would be like women should be virgins.
I was gonna say disclose your body count or something like that.
But that's. I mean, let me give something a bit less extreme. Women should be in the kitchen. Is that sexist?
No, or women should
like
dress
that.
up nicely with heels and whatever for a date. I think that's like more of like the.
Well, it's not like
it's not
dress up
like
nice.
I'm not
equivalent
dressing up
because
in heels
women
right
are
now.
gonna do that
Like,
anyway. If I pulled up in heels,
not all women.
Like,
do
I've
that
been on a
effort.
date. I'm not going to pull up in heels and a dress. I pulled up in a casual clothing, and he's.
That's, by the way, that's not. Don't clip me. That's not.
This is different.
But
I don't think that.
I
I'm
think
just trying to
men,
give an example.
a lot of men these days would prefer a woman just to dress like more modestly rather than like flashy and all done up and everything. Maybe it's not true for everyone, but from what I'm seeing, it seems like more men are leaning that way. But
It's also not equivalent because, like, women aren't losing anything to put on a dress.
Wait, I have a question for you.
that's right.
So, do you know any girls that, like, they're kind of doing the hookup thing where they'll, like, they got a roster? You know any girls like that? You know any girls like that? Know any girls like that?
Yeah.
Do you think that the man should still pay? Like, let's say he's taking a girl on a first date, but she, like, hooked up with a guy.
It's not like he knows, though.
Yeah,
but that's
You're
the
not saying, hey,
problem.
by the way, I hooked up with this guy before you.
Also, I feel like if you're in
I
that
don't
situation,
think it is. Like, he asked her on the date.
Yeah.
I feel like if
So just to be clear, the guy should be chivalrous, traditional, pay for the first date, still pay for the first date, even though she's fucking another guy.
And even if it goes bad,
If he asks
you
for it,
don't like
if he asks
it.
Even if he
sleeping
asks
with
for the
another
date?
girl.
And
She's supposed to tell
What
him
if he's not,
that
though? What if he wants, what if he's not?
and
See, that's the
we're
culture.
keep
That's
in
the
mind
thing.
when
Like,
I'm like,
there's
Yeah,
like an
and I'm-
automatic, like, they're sleeping with everybody, so it doesn't matter what I do. But that's
we
like
go to
the whole-
UCSB. This is
yeah,
what
also
I'm
I
And
was
this
gonna
is-
say
we go to
people are
UCSB,
aged
the
and
biggest
have
hookup
that as what
school.
doing here.
I don't know.
But
We're not
can I
30.
ask
There's no scenario where I'm gonna pay. I'm not even going on a date with her. I'm not going on a date. I don't want anything. If a girl's sleeping with another guy, I don't want anything to do with her. I don't even want to fuck her once.
How are you gonna know?
I don't want to kiss her. I don't
That would
want
be my
nothing.
question.
But
What do you do to
honest.
screen that before going on a first date?
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, are you seeing other people right now? Hopefully, they tell you the truth.
If you're led by your values and you try to find somebody who seems like I know you don't know them at first, but try to find someone who seems like they're more aligned with your values, then hopefully you can trust a little bit that they're telling you the truth, and you ask them important questions.
Generally, someone who's in their dating profile is going to highlight all the things that are important, nothing that's like superficial. They're not going on a bunch of dates like one after another. They're not pushing all of this stuff, this stuff that signals a modern dating lifestyle, someone who sleeps around a lot. Those things kind of clue you in.
Wait, so going back to you, so men should pay for first dates, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Going around the table on this, actually, men should pay for first dates?
If they initiate, yeah.
Yeah, if they ask, then yeah.
Yes.
I've paid for plenty of first dates.
Should men pay, though? Do you prefer them to pay?
I leave it up to them.
I
will offer, and then if they insist, then I'll thank them because it's a kind gesture, but I'm not going to like lead with that expectation.
I would prefer it, but it really depends on how the date goes.
Sure.
I don't want a guy to pay if I'm not into it.
And you said yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of means that you guys buy into traditional gender roles. If you think men should pay for the first date, right?
Yes.
So why is it okay for women to say men should pay for first dates? We can also say men should protect women. And we already talked about the bullet thing. Men should sacrifice their life for women. But it's not okay for men to say women should dress modestly.
I think it's okay for men to say that.
I never said it wasn't okay. Men can say
I'd
that.
argue most women would be like, you shouldn't control what I wear.
I think you have a pretty I wouldn't call us like conservative, but like a lot more of a level-headed group in the room than maybe you typically have.
You have a bikini photo on your Instagram, right?
I do.
Okay, so if we were dating and I was like, actually, the gangster move for you would be like, I don't even have to tell you. You just take that down. You just get it. Like, for example, you don't want to tell a guy to have to behave in the ways you want him to behave. You want him to just do it automatically, right? You don't want to have to teach a guy. No.
You're modeling.
No, Edgar.
Yeah, as a guy, that would be the biggest turn on in the world. It does not take that much effort to make a man fall for you. It's literally, doing stuff like that.
Respect.
That's like respecting me.
But if I was like, hey, I want you to take that photo down, would you do it?
If you came to me and like expressed a concern about it, I'd be like, all right, you know what?
Like begrudgingly take it down?
No, I wouldn't begrudgingly take it down. I mean, a post is a post. Like,
all right.
Meals.
I just think it's funny, like, so how women hate when men ask to go 50-50 on a date, but are perfectly comfortable with 50-50 in a divorce.
I think it's just the first date we're talking about.
Yeah,
I would be willing to split on the second date.
Let me ask you guys a question really quick. Okay. Just tell me why. Like, make an actual argument why men should pay.
On the first date?
Yeah.
Because I think it's a way of showing interest. Like,
well, hold on.
Showing investment.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you're
why
willing to put like work into this, like what?
Because a female invests in herself too. They dress up, they buy jewelry, they do their nails, stuff like that.
But that's not an investment in the man. Sorry, that's not an investment in the man. That's an investment in herself.
But I put in a lot of effort to be here on this date you asked me to come to. I expect you to pay for it.
Well, didn't the guy put in just an equal amount of effort, if not more?
He asked me to go on the date though. I didn't bring this upon him. He brought it upon me.
Have you ever asked a guy out on a date?
No.
Okay, well,
I have
hold
guys,
on.
and he paid.
What's that?
I have, and he paid.
And he still paid.
I hate to admit it, but
right. But more often than not, like for you, when it comes to first date, like of the times you've been asked out by a guy, more often than not, is it the guy asking or you asking?
I've asked once. The other times the guys asked, and
so you asked one time. How many times? What, 10 times? If guys have hit on you, I don't know.
3 times.
3 times. What about you?
Like 2 times.
2 times? Okay. More often than not, men are the ones initiating here. So it's kind of this like very convenient position to say, well, you asked, you should pay. Well, what's the alternative? Okay, fine. As a guy, I'll just sit back and wait for women to ask me out on dates so that they can pay for the date. But then that man gets faced with the brutal reality of he's never going to get asked out on a date. Most men never get asked out on dates.
Well, that's just the way like it is.
Okay, but so what's the actual argument for why a man should pay? And you answered, but what about you?
I agree with her answer.
because they asked.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
investment
they
thing.
brought
That's
it
the
upon
argument.
you. They wanted you to go, so why wouldn't they pay for it?
But you see
Okay.
how that's unfair because you never
no,
asked.
they asked me to go.
Right, but women never really ask the man, so
Right.
it's always going to be on the man. And then we're having the same conversation.
What do you think?
I think it's one date, and if they're gonna, like, I kind of said it earlier, like after the first date, I'd totally be open to splitting it. Honestly, I'd be open to splitting the first date. I would probably be like, oh, okay, you don't like me that much then. If like you want to split it, just because I think it is
Wait,
the
this
investment
mic is
thing.
Go ahead.
But yeah, the investment thing.
Well,
I
let
think.
me going around the table, starting with you. If you go on a date with a guy and he wants to split, will there be a second date?
If the date went well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncertain.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. There will be a second
There.
date.
Yeah. It depends how the date went, and if I
Okay.
knew them before.
Yeah, if the date went like really well, then yeah.
I don't oppose to splitting. I just prefer the man to pay.
Same.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer splitting the first date.
I don't think there would be a second date.
Okay. All right.